Good morning, welcome to day 47 of your daily wellness, and today we are doing a nice chill pose again, so hero pose. So this is a chill pose, a nice relaxing pose, but if you're particularly tight through the quads or the front of the hips, knees, shins, ankles, got sore feet, then you might find it a bit more of a challenge, in which case, kind of like when we did child pose the other day, you may want some blankets, some cushions, some blocks, just some things to make it a little bit easier for you so that you can actually really feel the benefits of your hero pose. But to begin with, we're going to start in easy pose, so cross-legged. You can raise up on a cushion or a block if you want to, and just start to settle in. So either relax the gaze or close the eyes. Every exhale, feel the shoulders sunk down a little further away from the ears. And as you inhale, feel the chest lift and the spine lengthen. Chin is tucked. Grounding down firmly through the sit bones and through the feet, connecting with that sensation of being in contact with the floor. And then take a moment to play with this alignment through the spine. So sometimes we naturally arch here, and so we want to tuck the lower ribs in and just send the weight back a little bit. Sometimes we're slumped because we're finding it difficult, in which case you want to tilt the tailbone, lift up, maybe lift up the hips. So find something that really feels like alignment to you. So if you normally feel like you're kind of here and you're leaning forwards a little bit like when you're a kid and you're in assembly, if you're normally like this, take a moment to pull it back, tuck the chin, tuck the lower ribs and lengthen up. You may find that you have to activate your core a lot more to find that length. And the same again if you're someone, you're really struggling to come forwards, or you find yourself hunching a lot here, take a moment to try and lengthen up, to open the chest and to bring it forwards a little bit. For you, you actually want to tilt your tailbone out a little bit to give you that length. Or use a block. Thank you to the cat for getting that down for me. To help to lift the pelvis. And again here, if you find that you're arching, tuck it in, lengthen up. So take a moment to get that alignment, because that's really what we're going to work on in our hero pose. The chest is open, the spine is long. Tuck it into alignment so the weight is really back on the sit bones. Notice if we're kind of squeezing through your glutes or one glute more than the other. Take a moment to try and relax them as we find that alignment. And there's a little bit of activation that's needed to hold it. And breathe freely. Placing the hands on the floor at the sides and just behind. From here, we're just going to gently lift the hips, tuck the tailbone, opening up through the front of the body, and then we're going to take it back down and make our way towards our hero pose. So, options. The majority of us are going to have an issue coming into this pose where we're actually sitting on the shins nice and flatly. So you can use multiple cushions like we did in child pose. So you can use cushion or blanket under here to help lift you up. This will actually help to cause a bit of compression through the back of the legs and through the calves and the back of the thighs. So if you've been exercising, this might feel quite nice. Or even roll up a blanket or something to make something that's a bit more like a foam roller or something like that. And then that will really, really get into those spots with a little bit more pressure. If that's not doing it for you, you can take several blankets or pillows. You can actually separate the feet and place them in between. Separating the knees a little bit if you need to come into this kind of kneeling position. You can use blocks to lift up. You can place something, a blanket rolled up just underneath the front of the ankle or the front of the shin. So if you're struggling to get the feet straight, if it's just a bit much and you need a little bit of an angle there, roll up your blanket and place the ankles on the blanket. So this will just allow you to have a little bit more flexion through the foot, through the front of the leg there. And you can use multiple ones at once, so you can use one under there, you can use another one under there. This will help to ease the angles so they're not quite so intense, and really find what's comfortable. So taking some time to work into what feels best for you. So now explore what it's like to put one under the ankles. Explore what it's like to add one under here. Then decide what it's like if you take that away and put the rolled up one under here instead. Maybe you try it right behind the back of the knees and get that nice calf massage. Maybe you bring it back a little bit further and get this kind of massage through the bottom of the calves or coming up into the glutes. Maybe we separate the knees and the feet out a little. If you are particularly flexible through the hips, you can come all the way down. Bring the top of the feet at the sides. This is a big stretch through the front of the feet and the front of the shins, and it does close the hips a little bit more. So this will really depend on how you feel. Very different style yoga today because we've got a very basic pose. So take a moment to find a hero pose that suits you. Use some equipment. If you want to use the equipment, you don't have to. If you don't want to, I'm going to come back to having one of these under here, I think, because I did a workout earlier. And it's probably good to give my muscles a bit of that compression. And then start to find that length and that alignment again. So again, we very much tend to arch here because we suddenly got this extra space. So we really want to tuck the tailbone, bring it back. So we're not leaning forwards, we're trying to bring the weight back. So we're still stacked from the hips, the shoulders, the head is neat and in one line. The chin comes in a little. Maybe we take a few shoulder rolls, trying to keep the spine in alignment until we find a position that feels good for the shoulders and they can slide down at the sides. Lots of space before you get to the ears. We've got a little bit of activation through the upper back, so we're squeezing the shoulder blades back a little just to make sure the chest is open, but not so much that we're starting to engage that arch again. We've got a little crunch through the lower abdomen, so again we're not crunching in, so we're creating this curve through the spine. We're just bringing a little crunch to take away the curve through the lower back. Close your eyes and settle in. So maybe your fingertips reach the floor, particularly if you're down on the floor. They might not. They can sit in your lap. You can interlace them. You can bring them together at your heart. You can take a mudra, whatever kind of thing you want to do with your hands. Take a moment to settle in. Feel that stacking of the vertebra, that little turning on of the core, just enough to hold. And then the freedom through the abdomen to expand as you inhale. Notice how your body feels. Again, you can swap and change. And sometimes we're quite active through the legs holding us up, so try and let that go. Let your glutes go, let your butt relax, let your thighs just relax a little bit. The aim is to find ease within the body while still doing the pose. Really getting to know yourself, your alignment. And work past those frustrations of feeling like, I'm not doing enough today. This isn't enough yoga. I need to work harder. I need to feel that burn or feel that stretch. That's not always what yoga is about. Sometimes it's about coming into your body and really, really sort of connecting with how your body feels. And you can use this in the rest of your practice, the rest of your training. Do some more active yoga after this if you want to, but try and keep this awareness. Connect with the natural rhythm of your breath. For those of you that want to take further options, you're more than welcome to take the hands behind and start to tilt the pelvis to get a bit more of a stretch through the quads and the front of the QLs through here. A lot of us are very tight here from this sitting position, so it does help to lengthen up through there, and you will start to open the chest more. It's a completely different sensation if you go for this option. That is up to you. Whichever option you go for, keep the neck nice and loose. So if we're here, we sometimes crank it forward, keep it in line. And of course, if that's not feeling right for you today, you can use your hero's pose base to come forwards into the inactive child pose. So again, if we're going for this option, just allow the weight to come forwards. Knees can be separate. You can use your cushions as and when you need, or just relaxing down. And then lastly, something to note is that when you're doing a pose like this and staying in a pose longer, and it really gives you some focus and connection, you can move around in it, so you don't have to just choose one pose. We can be here, we can take a little sway side to side, notice the sensation, the activation through the feet as you move. We can actually allow the body to come all the way down, getting a big stretch through this hip and this side, which can be quite nice. Just do the other side, so whatever you do, do both sides. Maybe from your position here you can take a twist if that's what you're feeling today. Maybe a little bit of mobility, so if your neck's stiff you can come into your pose and focus on doing something else as well, while still keeping that mindfulness. So we could do neck, shoulders, you can do the arms from here, we can do a little cat-cow breathing, or circles through the rib cage. Taking a pose like this and making it your own is kind of really what yoga's about. So now's a good time to go on to any other yoga that you want to practice at this point, any other poses that have interested you so far, or a great time to lie down, do some meditation, or go into a child's pose and meditate from there, or to just take a little bit of time for yourself some more. Otherwise, we shall see what we've got for tomorrow's session. Okay, so tomorrow we have standing forward bend. A great one for relaxing the nervous system, so if you've been feeling a bit of tension or a bit weird within yourself, it's a good one for clearing the mind and clearing the energies. Stretching hamstrings and lower back, of course, as well, and just giving yourself a little refresh. So thank you for joining me today. Namaste. And I will see you again tomorrow for your next dose of daily wellness.